Well, just in time for Halloween, author and daytime friend Joe Tennis has a book out that he wants to talk about. Perfect timing, always nice when he stops by daytime. It is called Ghostly Tales of the Blue Ridge Highlands. In it, you can read about some of your favorite local places and the stories surrounding those places. Joe joins us now in our studio with more. Ooh, it's the stories that, you know, make your neck hairs go up, right?
Yeah, but it's meant for kids this time. And if you can flip through the book, you'll see a lot of good illustrations that we've had. The History Press and Arcadia Publishing down in South Carolina asked me to do this book recently, and it is an adaptation of a book I did years ago that you and I talked about, I think when I co-hosted this show years ago, called Haunts of Virginia's Blue Ridge Highlands. And that book did so well, they said, why don't you take a few stories and adapt them for kids? And I said, I'll do that, but let's get some new stories in here that nobody's ever heard of. So I went up and found wonderful stories at the Inn at Wise, where the Laughing Boy at the Inn at Wise, and interviewed some people up there. It's up in Wise County, that beautiful inn. Have you stayed up there?
Yeah, I just recently stayed there, so now I'm like, did I see anything? Did I hear anything?
In the hallway, and you know, that dining room, because it's got a historic, you know, that's
it's
very
such a
historic
beautiful
thing. Beautiful old place. So,
Yeah.
you know, and the Colonial Dining Room, I believe it's called up there. Yeah, and they've had ghost meters and pictures and stuff up there, so that's an exciting story.
I'm glad you're joining us now instead of before I went.
And there's an adaptation of the new Mendota Trail. That was one that I did look at in the adult version, and but this one is a whole different twist. And of course, the Mendota Trail is a beautiful 12.5-mile trail we've got in Washington County, where I live up in Virginia. And there's also a new story at the Castlewood Cemetery, where some Civil War soldiers came up at a cemetery up in Castlewood. And the Herb House in Marion, Virginia, home of Ken Heath. He's on here all the time.
Yep.
The Herb House has this little girl ghost, and I talked to an artist who was up there for years, and she told me that she just would see it and hear it, and shadows and stuff through there. One of my favorites also, which is new, is the Bowling Wilson Hotel, where Edith Bowling Wilson, Woodrow Wilson's second wife, she was born across the street. And,
Excuse me.
And God bless you.
Thank you.
And these
is there a ghost in here?
There's a ghost that sneezes somewhere in this book. No, there's the Bowling Wilson Hotel is, I got a chance to sit down with some people about 4 years ago, right before COVID happened. And all these old employees and stuff of when it was a bank and stuff, and they were telling me some fascinating stories about all the stuff that was happening on the third floor. The tools were moving, and there was an elderly watchman, a man, a front desk man, and bellhop. He was there, and he would come and visit, and then they would say, "Did you see the man?" They're like, "No, he's been dead for years."
Oh, how!
So it's
wow.
Really spooky good stuff.
It's spooky good stuff, but
Yes.
for younger audiences.
For a younger
so it's not
audience,
super...
but yeah, kids of all ages, I would still say. But it's really been. You know, I did a book called The Marble and Other Ghost Tales of Tennessee and Virginia several years ago. And the most delightful thing was to watch a little girl in first grade walk through Greendale Elementary and read this book, you know, and read these words. And she's like, you know, and she's just going nuts. And I love that, you know. There's nothing like having a kid read your stuff.
Well, good.
So,
well, we're going to give everybody the information. You've got a book signing coming up on Saturday at the Meadowview Marriott.
Conventions, yeah.
Yes, from 9 until 3 o'clock. And that book, of course, is available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, as well as Arcadia Publishing. Great to have you on the show, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you.